So, shalom, YouTube. We're going to pick up where I left off at in chapter 1 of The Souls of Black Folk, W.E.B. Du Bois. This then the end of his striving to be a co-worker in the kingdom of culture, to escape both death and isolation, to husband and use his best powers and his latent genius. These powers of body and mind have in the past been strangely wasted, dispersed, or forgotten. The shadows of a mighty Negro past flits through the tale of Ethiopia, the shadowy, and of Egypt, the Sphinx. Throughout history, the powers of a single black man flashes here and there like falling stars and dies sometimes before the world has rightly gouged their brightness. Rightly gauged their brightness. Here in America, in the few days since emancipation, the black man is turning hither and thither, hesitant and effective to lose effectiveness of power, like weakness, and yet it is not weakness. It is the contradiction of double aims, the double aim struggle of the black artisan. On the one hand, to escape white contempt for a nation of mere hewers of wood and drawers of water, and on the other hand, to plow and nail and dig for a poverty-stricken horde, could only result in making him a poor craftsman, for he had but half a heart in either cause. But the poverty and ignorance of his people, the Negro minister or doctor, was tempted towards quackery and demagogy, and by the criticism of the other world toward ideals that made him ashamed of his lowly tasks. The would-be black savant was confronted by the paradox that the knowledge his people needed was a twice told tale to his white neighbors, while the knowledge which would teach the white world was Greek to his own flesh and blood. The innate love of harmony and beauty that set the rudder soul of his people a dancing and a singing raised but confusion and doubt in the souls of the black artists. For the beauty revealed to him was the sole beauty of a race which has larger audience which means this seeking to satisfy two unreconciled ideas has wrought sad havoc with the courage and faith of deeds of 10,000 thousands people, has sent them often wooing false gods and invoking false meanings of salvation, and at times has even seemed about to make them ashamed of themselves. Away back in the days of bondage, they thought to see in one divine event the end of all doubt and disappointment. Few men ever worshiped freedom with half such unquestioning faith as did the American Negro for 2 centuries. To him, so far as they thought and dreamed, slavery was indeed the sum of all villainies, the cause of all sorrow, the root of all prejudice. Emancipation was the key to a promised land of sweeter beauty than ever stretched before the eyes of wearied Israelites. In song and exhortation swelled one refrain: liberty. In the tears and curses of God, he implored had freedom in his right hand. At last it came, suddenly, fearfully, like a dream, with one wild carnival of blood and passion